But every February, it becomes electric here as the top NASCAR drivers gather for the sport's marquee event, the Daytona 500. But in order to qualify, they must first get through the 125s. Dale Earnhardt has captured his 125 race every year this decade. The Intimidator won last year's 500 for the first time and is in the hunt to repeat. But first, he tries to remain perfect in this event in the 1990s. It's a race that can help make or break speed weeks in Daytona, the Gatorade 125s. We welcome you back to Daytona. Greg Gumbel back with you at Daytona International Speedway. Coming up, the Gatorade 125 qualifying races from Thursday. 59 drivers were here trying to make the starting field of 43 for the Daytona 500. For more, let's go back upstairs to Mike Joy, Ned Jarrett, and Buddy Baker.
Thanks, Greg. There are 5 ways to get into the Daytona 500. Time trial on the front row like Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart did. Earn one of the first 14 finishing positions, not counting those drivers in these qualifying races, or fall back on your time trial speed, car owner provisional points, or champions provisional. Ned, that's an awful lot for these drivers to be concerned about here.
Oh, it really is. There are a lot of tough ways to get into the Daytona 500. A lot of nervous people going into these races because many of them don't have the speeds to fall back on. Many of them were not high enough in the point standings at the end of last year to fall back on points. So it is a tough situation in these races.
And worse yet, if you crash and destroy your car, you have to start at the rear in the 500. So, Buddy Baker, do you go for it or do you save the car for Sunday?
It's the only chance you really get to race against the people you're going to run 500 miles with. I made a huge mistake one time when I was on the pole here. I didn't run the race. I said, I've already won the pole. The car's good. I didn't run the 125 qualifier. End results, terrible car all day long in the 500. They got to go for it.
Just concluded the Napa Auto Parts 300. NASCAR is still working on the official order of finish, looking at the way the cars completed that final lap under caution. Unofficially, the top 5, Randy LaJoie the winner, Jeff Green, Andy Hillenberg, Matt Kenseth, and they are now showing Mike McLaughlin as the 5th place car. This is very unofficial. Bobby Hillen credited with 6th. Adam Petty now 7th. Kevin LePage, Kevin Grubb, and Jeff Burton are being scored as the top 10. Coming up here at Daytona, tape coverage from Thursday of the Gatorade 125-mile qualifying races for Sunday's Daytona 500. Stay with us.
CBS Sports presentation of the Gatorade 125s is sponsored by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. You either have it in you or you don't. Gatorade, is it in you? Ford Expedition, built Ford Tom. And by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, official beer of NASCAR. Hey, race fans, this Bud's for you.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway, where it's a beautiful, bright, sunny day for the Gatorade 125-mile qualifying races. A full sun beats down on the Speedway, and that has brought the temperature here up to 70 degrees. Warmer trackside. The humidity, though, is oppressive, 93%. A breeze from the north at 7 miles per hour. Let's have a look at the starting lineup for this first race. Jeff Gordon, Sunday's Daytona 500 pole sitter, and Ken Schrader, a 2-time winner of the qualifying race, share the front row. Mark Martin, the winner of last Sunday's Busch Shootout, and Terry Labonte, who had the fastest 125 in history in 1989. Michael Waltrip, runner-up in this event a year ago, shares the third row with Jeff Burton, looking to make his 6th 500. Sterling Marlin is a 2-time winner of the 125, and Kenny Wallace hopes to make his 4th start in the big show. Wally Dallenbach trying for his 6th Daytona 500, and Bobby Labonte, last year's 500 runner-up. Jerry Nadeau quick in yesterday's practice, and Rick Mast 4th in this event in 91. John Andretti finished 3rd in this race 3 years ago, and Jimmy Spencer won the 400-miler in July in 94. Dan Part is the local short track graduate trying to make his first 500. Ricky Rudd is trying to make his 22nd. Bill Elliott has won 3 of these qualifying races. He starts next to Johnny Benson. Darrell Waltrip, a 5-time winner of this sprint, and Buckshot Jones, one of the top rookies this year. Billy Standridge has the only Thunderbird in the field, and Stanton Barrett, second-generation stunt driver and race driver. Jeff Green is trying to put Bud Moore's Ford into the field, and Mike Wallace, just named yesterday as a substitute driver in the Junie Dunleavy car. Morgan Shepherd has finished second twice in these qualifiers, and Mark Gibson, his 6th year trying to make his first 500. Steve Park, after a tough rookie season, he's back driving for Dale Earnhardt, and Robert Presley. Ted Musgrave, who ran 4th in the 95 500, and ARCA veteran Norm Benning, seeking his first ride in the big dance, fill the final row.
Manufacturer's breakdown for this first race. There are 16 Fords, 11 Chevrolets, and 3 Pontiacs. There are 30 cars starting the event, 50 laps for 125 miles.
The historic Daytona International Speedway is 2.5 miles around, 31 degrees in the turns, and 18 degrees just below us in the tri-oval. 6 degrees on the back straightaway.
We're going to ride along with a couple of hot rods today. Jeff Gordon, starting from the pole where he will start Sunday's Daytona 500, has our CBS race cam on board. The Rick Hendrick Chevrolet. And you're looking from the back of the Roush Ford, Jack Roush's Ford. Jeff Burton, the driver, starting in 6th position. You see how steep that banking is up in turn 4 from the back of Burton's car. Here's the man on the bubble, Dan Pardis. By that we mean he is in 14th place in this lineup, not counting Jeff Gordon, who's already earned his way into the 500. He is the man right now who sits in the final transfer spot from this 125-mile race. Pontiac safety car dips to pit road, and Jeff Gordon and Kenny Schrader will bring them down for 125 miles, 50 laps. Green flag. Behind him, Kenny Wallace in his first drive for Andy Petrie Racing as teammate to Ken Schrader. There's the 15 of Jeff Green with heavy damage. Dan Pardis, who was the man on the bubble, has front-end damage to his number 50. I believe I saw John Andretti limping along.
I'm talking about some real trouble here. Look at the left front corner of that car, and his time is not good enough to make the Daytona 500 in the 15 car of Bud Moore.
No, he's out of it, previously.
They file back to the caution flag at lap 1. Wallace will try to bring his car around to the garage area. Pardis on the right side of your screen, and Andretti also limping along.
Let's take a look and see if we can see what happens as we go into turn number 1. And you can see this car right there down on the bottom of the racetrack, and indeed it does get into the back end of Kenny Wallace.
Ned, what happened there is he went in on the flat part of the racetrack and slid up. He didn't mean to do it. You can see the car lose grip right there, go up and make contact right there on the left rear corner of Kenny Wallace.
The first lap of these races, when cars are building momentum, I'm sure Wally Dallenbach of that number 25 Chevrolet had a good run and was going into that corner faster than Wallace. He looked for space on the bottom of the racetrack, and there just wasn't enough room. Andretti comes to pit road. Kenny Wallace coasts into the garage, hoping his time trial speed is fast enough to make the 500.